Hello everybody, Winkerface here. Welcome back to another episode of the Reclamation series. This is episode number 35. And I made a goof. I recorded 3 episodes. And I did not know, I did not see on OBS that the audio, the mic, was not recorded. So here I am in a future, from the future, and you will be watching me. I basically frankensteined the 3 episodes into one, so that's why this video is kind of long. It's like in the 1 hour mark, so I'm sorry. And I'm gonna be it's gonna be weird. I'm gonna be doing voiceover over the footage that I crumpled together, just so that it's you see the progress. I will be posting the unedited, like the uncut, like the raw footage for the first 3 episodes. So the 3rd episode, which is supposed to be episode 50, not 50, sorry, 38, that is actually going to be 3 clips, separate 3 clips combined, but it's still raw. No edits, basically. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this very long episode that is supposed to be 3 episodes. And next week we're gonna come back to, hopefully, a proper episode. So, I'm so sorry if this is weird. But, yeah, we have a tier 5. We'll be making the demon will, and then the other stuff. So, enjoy the video. Enjoy the episode. Alright, so, here we're basically, I made the quartz seed in between episodes. Basically, I wanted to get a lot more seeds crafted, and you guys don't need to see that a lot. And I have to, basically grow them up to 10s, like the stats into 5 10s. So right now we're basically just duplicating the seeds, just so that we can put it in our silo. Now I don't remember what happened in between the last episode and then this one, because I recorded this like a long time ago. But there should be I basically added a lot of seeds. So with the nether quartz seeds, I also I think I added the redstone seed and then the nether seed, I believe. Yeah, the nether seed, the redstone seed, and then the quartz will be added in this clip. We also made the wireless access point, which basically we now upgraded it with the wireless booster, and also we now have a wireless terminal, so there shouldn't be any issues with doing stuff. Now I also want to build like the flux network stuff as well, so that we can we don't have to worry about powering the wireless crafting terminal through the energy cube. It's gonna be a bit of an issue. It's kind of weird watching myself play the game where there should have been a thing. Yeah, we also made a molecular assembler and a map pattern provider, but we don't have the CPUs yet. So we have to make, the the crafting units, I believe, if I remember. Yeah, the crafting units. We have to make the crafting units as well as the co-processing unit. That enables us to, request any patterns that is, in the system. So, yeah, let's, did I grab the thing? I forgot. Infused alloy, what is this? I don't know what I'm talking about in this clip, but basically we're trying to make more processors. I don't know, I forgot. Oh yeah, the circuit slicer. Yes, we're trying to make that so that we can basically process one in just one block and we don't have to separate it. So that's pretty cool. I don't know if I mentioned this in between episodes or the last episode, but I did change the config for Applied Logistics to have less, or you don't need to manage channels, but I increased the power usage by a substantial amount. So there's that. As you can see here, we have added another another layer, right? Another layer for our farm ring. We have here the 2 seeds. I think that's the gold and the iron. I forgot. And we're gonna add the seeds. We need 11. I think that is a tier. Yeah, the Imperium. In the Imperium farmland for the nether core seeds. As you can see, this is the nether. We also have the redstone over on this side. Basically, I tried to split it evenly between all of the seeds that I will be growing. And to be fair, this amount of seeds basically handles all the things that I need in terms of crafting. And of course, in between clips, in between episodes, I will be building, more layers, more seeds, and a lot more resources automated. Eventually, over time. So in this part, there is a certain course as well, but that requires singularity. And that's like it just takes time, just a long time to just make one. I'm saying here that it's like cheaper to do that, but it's not. It's not cheaper. Not gonna lie. So you can see, I'm basically pointing out here that we're trying to progress through blood magic with the ritual diviner dusk upgrade, and also the growing the will. It will crystallize the will. We can make the dusk marker with coal blocks since we have a tier 4 altar. Also, if audio is kind of weird, I'm recording this with the sound recorder on Windows and not through like OBS and stuff, because it's much easier to do that. Okay, we have a lot of coal. No, that's charcoal. So I think I have, let's make a compacting drawer. This is mainly for the coal, so we can just, that was actually not a good idea, but yeah, there you go. Now have a coal block. Or we can basically deposit any coal that we put into the drawer. We have blocks of coal automatically into the system, which is pretty nice. How can I talk for an hour? I don't know. This is basically me commenting on the video and also talking to you guys as well. It's kind of weird. Anyway, so yeah, we're gonna make the dusk upgrade here. Now we're going to jump a little bit with the clip. I think this is the same clip. Yeah, same recording. We're gonna jump a little bit since we just need a little bit of the dusk. Okay, let's just just go back. So with the slate and the markers, we got the Ritual Diviner Dusk. So basically, we're getting more access into stuff. We need to get Demonite for tier 5. And the last quest, basically, I'm saying that, we need to do that. So, with this in mind, we can now... I think what I'm doing here is trying to get the Demon Crucible and then the Demon Crystallizer. That gives us access to the Crystallized Will. So we should be making that first. This is basically like a step into the right direction. So we're gonna get the items for the Crucible first. I believe I'm making the Crucible first. Right? Let's see. It's like me watching with you guys. It's kind of funny. We can repair. Yeah, isolated stuff now. We don't need to do that. There is a way to repair this, the sword. I forgot the name of the sword. The sentient sword. We can use imbued slate. I think I didn't record it, but I'm gonna show you guys next episode how I can repair majority of the items using using a certain item in the mod pack. So let's get the cauldron, lapis. I think cauldron, lapis, stone, and diamond. Ooh, that's actually kind of cheap for us. But diamonds is kind of hard since we need to either get it by chance to the ore stuff. We also need the Hellfire Forge. Oh boy. Silence is kind of like me eating something. But yeah. We need the Hellfire Forge for the crystallizer. And wait, where's the petty gem? We need the petty gem. This is me trying to find, yeah, there you go, the Tartaric gem. Okay, so now that we have, I think this is the crucible. Yeah. This is the crucible. We can now we can now make the other one, the crystallizer. But this takes a little bit of time. Because if I remember correctly, I didn't have majority of the items. I literally didn't have the majority of the items to make the Hellfire Forge. So that we can make the crystallizer, so... I don't know how long it will take me to make it. Not sure. Not gonna lie. So we're missing majority of it. We need the Mana Steel. So we need to go to Nature Sora, make the... Oh god, is it the Nature Steel? Forgot. So we need a couple of stone. Now, this is my mistake here. I should have grabbed the living rock. Because, yeah, so we needed the living rock, which I think I have one. Or a couple. Yes, we do. We have a couple of living rock in the system, so we can make that. Got the 2 infused and the living rock. And then we just need to go to the Papania area so that we can make mana steel. And then we're missing the black stone. If I remember correctly, we're just missing the black stone. We're missing that because I don't think I think I just made exactly the exact amount of black stone when I used it. But we can just make it since we have like, you know, the create fan. There you go. Okay. While we're waiting, I don't know what I'm doing here. I think I'm just explaining, trying to make the crystallized will. Surprisingly, it was, you know, pretty easy. So I'm gonna try to explain that while we are building it. We can just do that. Very nice. We can make the Hellfire Forge. Simple as that. We can throw back some stuff. No, we're not gonna bring back the thing. Lapis and then glass. Okay, I grabbed the wrong thing. It should have been glass, but I'm gonna grab it later, surely, right? Surely. No, definitely, actually. We're gonna get the glass once I realize it's the wrong thing. Let's see here. How long? Yep. There we go. Nope, I did not realize it here. I did not. I have not realized it. Can take me a second. Give me guys like a few seconds, you know? And there we go. Surely this is when I will realize it. Yep. Oh my goodness. This is me. I think this is when I was like kind of panicking because I'm trying to record an episode where I have like very limited time to record it. Like I have a very small window of time to record it. So I'm kind of just like rushing through it. But yeah, here you go. We got the crystallizer and the crucible. So we just place it somewhere here. We're gonna basically read it with enough blah blah blah, with enough will in the aura, blah blah blah. In the aura, the crystal will grow extra spears. So I'm gonna explain this while we're looking at this text, right? So I think the sanguine cyantem basically describes how the process. I guess like as easy as possible. Not as easy as possible as like what do you call it? It's kind of the way it actually works. Like more detail. There you go. That's a word. And we basically can put any containers, any container that has will. So basically the tartaric gems. We have an extra one. But I'm gonna try to split it. Well, I'm gonna try to split it. Put in the crucible. So when the tartaric gem is in the crucible, it will slowly disperse the will into the area. Or the aura, into the aura, which is, you know, the surroundings. And the crystallizer's job is to grab those will and basically just crystallize it. Simple as that, right? So the initial crystal, the initial spike is actually 100. It costs 100 will, and then then we can put more will into it, which makes it into spires, and that costs like 45 will. And then over time, it will basically grow. And at maximum, there's going to be 7 spires in the crystal. I don't know how long it will take, but it does take a little bit of time. But it will slowly, there you go. As you can see, there's a spire already. Then we're gonna jump a little bit. I think this is where I make the spires. As you can see, we got the spires right over there. It just takes some time. But yeah. And then we jump into another clip. Oh my god, this is fast. We're actually, this one is where we can get the aspected will using the resonance of the faceted crystal. These are the crystallized will that are colored. So as you can see, there's blue, yellow, green, and red. Those are the different aspects of will that basically we can use for different stuff We can use it for different modifications, for the rituals and stuff like that. We're rebuilding the crystal, of course, unfortunately. And that is the setup shown in the Scientum. And then once we get enough will into the aura, and then the crystal will grow spires. If there's at least 5 spires into the crystal, the ritual underneath will basically grab those spires and then grow its own crystal spikes. And then it basically runs over time. As the more will that you put, the more spires it can get. And then another fun fact, I don't think I showed this in any of the clips. Before that, I also made this thing the Well of Suffering. In the config, the dummies are actually disabled or blacklisted from the Well of Suffering, but I changed it so that it will get damaged, but it's very small. I set it to like 15 LP per. Still not a lot, and it costs like 2. I could lower it more if it's going to be like crazy. My initial plan was to use the Wither Skeleton farm under, but there's a lot of work. I already have that going. We could use that, but it's going to be a bit far from either of the farms. So this is where I landed. I just changed the config, and mind you, this is my series, so if you don't agree with this, it's fine. And later on, I could just add another spawner that I find somewhere in the world. Maybe in the endless in the demon realm. We'll see. And I've been using this thing, the Wither farm. I'm actually kind of trying. I tried to move it, but it doesn't really work. Okay. The fun fact, I'm gonna go back to the fun fact because while I'm being confused here why there's no spires for the other aspected will, because there's no 5 regular crystallized will yet. So there's that. We can actually right click the spire without mining it so that you can get the crystallized will without breaking it. But it does require you to have 512 will in your inventory collectively. So if there's like separate Tartar gems in your inventory, that's fine as long as you have 512 collectively. You can just right click it and yada yada yada. You guys get it, right? Surely. Okay. What am I looking for here? Oh, we're just trying to look for the skulls for the Nether Star. I think I'm explaining here that I thought that the Wither needs the aspected will. No. I just got lucky with, honestly, I just got lucky with the Wither skeleton spawner. And I got lucky with that, honestly. I'm not gonna lie. I got lucky with that so that we now have a source of Wither skeleton skull, which is pretty dang good. Okay, and then I think we're trying to locate, like, force load some stuff. I think I'm checking here if there's like any chunks that I need to force load. We can actually, then here. Oh, this is my experiment. I'm gonna try to get the cow close so that it gets affected by the Well of Suffering. The cow actually gives like 100 LP per, like base, like 100 LP per tick, like per HP. Which is crazy. But still. You know, but you still have to have like a constant flow of mobs for, you know, the Well of Suffering to have like unlimited LP for us. Unfortunately, it's gonna take a little bit of time to build that once we have like more spawners on hand. I think I'm just checking out like the uses of ethereal slate, I think. But we still need Hellforge ingots for that. I forgot what's the next clip, but I think this is when... Is this when I try to figure... No, this is when I start to grow the aspected will, because it just takes some time in between cuts. So there's going to be a little bit of a time jump between. Oh no! Okay, I remember this. So this is when I try to find or to hunt for the Hellforge ingot. It's specifically the raw demon. I had a mistake. while explaining, while playing the video here. There is actually another ritual that basically shows the yeah, this is when I figured that hey, I can survive this. Like I can survive the fast zombies with diamond swords. It's crazy. There's actually another version of the ritual for the the teleportation to the demon realm. There's another one, but this is not the way to get, because this is the starter demon realm where it's only like 4 rooms, very limited. There's another one that we will be building later down the video. We get the Tao food. Okay. Yeah, we're trying to loot here, but majority of the loot here is actually kind of useless. Yeah, the Tao oil and stuff. It's kind of useless, not gonna lie. And then this is when I realized that there is obsidian path in here, so we can basically just grab it. We can upgrade our incense altar with these, and it's actually pretty good. We can. There's also it's just a void world, so it's not a good plan to just build it. So we're gonna try to get as much of these things as possible. We're just gonna grab the obsidian path so that we can upgrade the incense altar. Because if I remember correctly, that is craftable already. I'm not sure really. I'm not entirely sure, but I think it is craftable. Like at that point. Oh my god! I actually got scared of that. That actually surprised me. But that's also what I said in the original clip, or the original recording. I remember because I said it. And this is when this is where the spawner is. There's gonna be a little bit of zombie. Whoop! They're actually pretty strong. We're gonna jump a little bit. This is where the aspected will has grown. Oh, this is where I will, I will show you guys also that we can right-click the crystal cluster. Look at that. Wow, very nice. We don't have to destroy the crystal. Because if you destroy the crystal, if you actually mine the crystal, it will cost 100 will again to regrow said spire. So, kind of useful if you have just right-click the crystal clusters. So here, this is the long one. So this is where I discovered that there is an endless realm for the demon realm. So this is the upgraded version of the of the thing, of the what do you call this? Of the demon realm that we had initially, that we were, trying to get into, so you can see. And then we can just okay, I think this is the wrong, I think I had the wrong thing, right? Yeah, I think I had the wrong, yep, there you go. So I have to oh, I think I have to remine all of this stuff. Yeah, I think I have to remine the whole thing, because it's a bit of an oopsie, because I wasn't looking. I was blind. I wasn't looking for, I wasn't looking if it's correct. So unfortunately, I think I have to rebuild this. I have to remine. I have to mine it, and then we have to rebuild the whole thing, because it's literally an oopsie. But that's actually the good thing about the ritual. Wait, I forgot the name of the item. The ritual something. I forgot the name. I can't read those. The ritual diviner. Oh my gosh, that's the word. Yeah. We're just waiting for the it's a good thing about the ritual diviner, because we can just build it with the right click, which is pretty nice. So while we are waiting to rebuild, okay, that should work, because honestly, the cyantem is just weird. But if you right click it, there we go. Look at that, very nice. You can just remove that, and then we're gonna try to get in. We're gonna try to get in through the inversion pillar because that's the gateway to the demon realm. We're gonna try to... Oh yeah, we're going to make more keys. Because if you guys remember, the demon realm requires keys to get through like rooms. But with the endless realm, we now require to have like a lot more keys on hand so that we can actually explore deeper into the realm. So yeah. There we go. So we now have 4 keys. We have a little bit more expected will. We're gonna leave the Master Blood Orb, I think. We have 300 KLP, but we're gonna leave it into the altar since we have like, you know, we need to. We need to. Okay, we're gonna jump in. Look at that. So this is a very different starting point, but as you can see, we got some iron keys. Let's open this, and this is where I find out that these guys are relatively strong. Look at that, we got hit once and we got lost like... Oh wait, no, this is the arrow. Oh my god, it's like 3 hearts. Oh Jesus, that's actually 3.5 hearts. We're like half a heart. Bro. Yeah. So this is when I discovered that the endless version of the demon realm is actually very much harder. And this is, I think, where I hatched the plan to just use the pendant, try to kill them relatively quick, but as you can see, it's not gonna go well in a few seconds. You guys see it, you know? I'm doing like what, 1 heart of health? Or 1 heart of damage? But they're dealing like 4 damage per hit. It's like crazy. It's actually crazy. So this is when I, figured that, hey, maybe blood magic armor is like pretty good. So this is the path towards the living armor, which is the blood magic armor. That is actually a pretty good set of armor. Since it is very customizable, we're basically reading this, you guys can read this on your own. You can pause the video if you want, but it basically says that the living armor can be trained. So basically you can train your armor to do what you want it to do. If you want it to be more defensive against melee, against projectiles, if you want it to be more the fire resistant, if you want it to have an elytra, that is a possibility. There's also the living armor training bracelet that basically enables you to customize how much levels you can put into the armor. It's a bit bugged, if I remember correctly. It's a bit bugged from my memory. At the very least, it's a bit bugged. But we're gonna try to make the living armor right here. We cannot craft the other stuff, but the upgrade tome is one way to upgrade it. So you can see there is the elytra. You can apply the elytra with that. We also have the brilliance and then the socket or socketed upgrade. And you guys see what will happen later down the line, of course. But as you can see, the reagent just requires, very basic stuff. And then to make the living armor, I think you just use iron armor with the reagent and then the casting stuff, the dust stuff. So yeah, there is no quest for that. We can also try to use, I think I'm explaining here that I could also try to use Ars Noval to deal damage, or like, we can also try the Botania helmet, because we do have like the 2nd tier of the Nature's Aura armor, which is already pretty good. But there's a lot. There's also the Mystical Agriculture one, but that requires a lot of crafting and a lot of diamonds, to be fair. So it's not a good plan like right now, because I'm trying to go through it as quickly as possible. And that requires imbued slate. That's actually really easy to make. That's actually crazy. Like for the Supremium one, by the very least. Like the Supremium Essence, very easy to make since imbued slate is like relatively easy to make as well. So that's pretty cool. There's also the quantum armor, but there's a whole rabbit hole. There's a new rabbit hole to jump into. We're not gonna be able to do that. There's also the third tier of Nature's Aura, but that requires ancient debris or netherite scraps. That's a whole nother problem to deal with. So we ain't gonna do that. Not gonna be possible. I'm afraid so. There's the agricraft thing, but there's no like nether scrap seeds or netherite seeds. Well, there is the netherite seed, but that requires, it requires actual netherite, and that's a whole nother thing. Also needs Hellforge ingot. Oh, okay. I did not catch that when I was recording that. Okay. This is me going to the rabbit hole of ancient debris. Okay. So I'm gonna explain a little bit of the living armor. The living armor basically, it is enchantable, but you need the full set to get the effect. So you can't just have the chest plate, or the helmet, or the pants, or the leggings, or the pants, or the boots. You need all 4 pieces of the armor. It's gonna take me a while to get through this. Maybe I should cut that. No. I can talk about it. I'm gonna do a little bit of a fun fact while, we're just going around. I think we're trying to make the thing now. Are we trying to make the living armor now? I don't think so. But, fun fact, this part is actually for the 3rd episode. What's gonna happen, or what was supposed to happen, was that I'm gonna release an episode today, an episode next week, and then next Thursday is gonna be back to back next week. But, well, I basically, you know, uh, not destroyed, but the footage was just not, the audio was just not recorded. So unfortunately, this is what came down to it. We're making the living reagent, right? And we just need gold nuggets. Yeah, I botched the footage. There was no audio, unfortunately. So we're gonna get the last gunpowder here. Oh, we got the gunpowder, and we should be making it in the things. We need the blood orb. We will be making it there. Very nice. And we do need the arcane ashes so that we can rebuild the other stuff. We can put the tartar gem here so we can grow more will. And then we also need the crystallized will. There's not a lot of uses for it besides the greater, or like the last tier of the tartar gem. The miner's key, which is basically a way for us to get a lot more demonite or raw demonite. So we need to get 1 diamond. I think I'm trying to get the pants and then the chest plate. So we need all pieces of that. I think I needed the diamond for the training, I think. We're basically gonna craft multiple of the pieces right now. This is the fun thing about like blood magic, is that you can like, just one thing, you just modify it and you can make the different items, which is awesome in and of itself. I'm not gonna lie, it's actually pretty awesome. Like, this is how you make the sigils as well. Guys, we can get the thing. got a chest plate. I think that's a chest plate. Got the trainer, the chest plate, and we got the pants, and then the boots. We got the chest plate. Alright. Just gonna wait for the other stuff to place. So this is the living training exit. You can basically put any of the upgrade tomes in there, and then you can limit it, or you can basically disable it so that the armor doesn't, you know, train it while you're playing the game. And then we have living tome upgrades. I think we got this from the the smaller demon realm rooms. We got it from there. So actually get the experience. I think the soft fall is for feather. It's like feather falling, but you just learn it. And then we got the experience. I believe experience just gives you more experience per per level, or when you kill a mob, you can basically get more XP. Excuse me for the burps. And then here, I think we're just gonna spawn a lot of enemies so that we can train our armor. This is I needed to get hit by enemies so that we can train the armor to get to be tougher. I think that's what I was doing here. As you can see here, right? I think we're just reading about the different stuff that we can do with the upgrade tome. There's also 2 different rituals that expands the capability of the armor. So you can basically add more upgrade points. I think we're gonna show that later. So you can see there's upgrade points. It's out of 100, but there's a ritual to upgrade that. There's also a ritual to remove upgrades and make it into upgrade tomes. And I think this is where I died. Yeah, that's where I died. Because I was basically trying to train the armor to get tougher. I did not see that, the hearts was on the very low. It's at the lowest. So unfortunately, it is what it is. And that chest is also full. So that is not good. We're trying to combine the swords here, which is good as well. There you go. There's demon will. That's crazy. It's kind of sad, but it is what it is. Just need to get it. There you go. Very nice. So this is where we continue to. There you go. So the more that we get hit, the more XP the more XP that the chest plate gets. Simple as that. So you can see we already have a couple of upgrades to our living chest plate. So at this point, we're kind of just me trying to think on how can I grind it. This is a stupid idea. I was trying to go back, fight them, and I get 1 hit. Which is, in and of itself, crazy. I got 1 hit. And then this is another thing that this is after I research about living armor. This is when I was making the Brilliance upgrade tome. So you can see we already have a lot of upgrade tomes set into the training bracelet. I basically disabled the strong legs because it's not a good upgrade for me personally. And each upgrade requires upgrade points. Basically, it eats up a lot of the upgrade points, and the higher the tier, the more upgrade points it needs. So a good balance of the different upgrades is the smart choice for the living armor, especially if you want to get a lot of tough out of it, if you want to get more defense for it. It's a good idea to I ate something really bad. Excuse me. It's a good idea to just, you know, limit certain upgrades that is very useful still. It is very useful, but you need to like limit it to like a certain, you know, up to a certain level only. So the brilliance basically increase the armor points that the, you know, the armor set gives, which is pretty smart. And that is basically a requirement for us, so that we have like a higher base defense, and then also get like a better. It basically the base armor value is on top of the tough upgrade of the living armor. I think that's the best way to put it. I think. Right. Now we're gonna basically upgrade our living armor to higher points or higher points. I think, what is this? Oh, this is me trying to like, you know, enchant it. So I think we can enchant it using the Ars Nova. But I think what I did in between episodes or in between clips is that I just upgraded it by grinding the Wither Skeleton form. Just awesome in and of itself. And also, funny thing is, I'm trying to eat right now. So if you hear me become silent like for a few seconds, I'm just eating. So this is the Living Revolution. This is where I push the upgrade points to 300. And there's also the other one. I think I don't have the cleansing one working. I don't think so. I don't know what's happening here. Oh yeah, I'm just talking about like different upgrades here, basically. Oh, this is me trying to understand, like, you know, if the pants are like doable. The heretic pants that are like, you know, in tune with the magic armor, I don't think it's useful. I don't think there's no benefits. There's no real benefits for upgrading it. So yeah, I don't think that's a good idea to upgrade it, to be fair. The isolated materia is actually pretty good for like repairing items. So this is a way that I was able to repair the sentient sword, is through the Dawnstone anvil, but I don't think I recorded me making it. Yeah, unfortunately. I just made it like in between episodes because it's kind of just there. So this is where I try to go back, I think. So it's still like 4 parts, but we can stand on a pretty good, we can stand pretty well, you know, for the amount of hearts that we get. We also got healthy, which basically increases our health points. Pretty good, so we can break that now. There is a skeleton. It's still pretty strong. It is pretty strong. Oh, that's actually pretty strong. We're not gonna... I thought we're not gonna die. I died. Okay, we died from that. That's unfortunate. But... unfortunately, we died. It is what it is. Yeah. It's just we died, unfortunately. Oh my god, that's actually... There you go. So there's no way for me to clear that. So I think there is, yeah, just another set of keys there. Yeah, so there's no way for me to survive the bow, you know, the skeletons. So I think they have like power 10 or something. It's like really strong, which is crazy. Oh, this is when I try to... Not try, we're gonna cut here, go to the next clip. Because we're gonna upgrade, basically we're gonna train the armor. So this is actually... Oh! We're gonna be making the glowstone seeds because boy, I need a lot. So you can see, there's a lot more stuff in there. Fierce Strike, increases damage, Tough 3, Healthy 3. Pincushion is the one for projectiles, so we don't really need that. We also have, you know, Protection, and Thorns, and Upgrading, and Unbreaking. So, I basically upgraded a lot, or enchanted the armor to its maximum potential. At the very least, you know, enchant it as much as possible. I think I'm trying to explain this here, and the different stuff. We're trying to make the glowstone seeds here. In reality, I haven't, you know, upgraded the seeds yet. So it's not yet in the thing. Like right now in the future, like after I recorded these episodes. This is when I'm trying to explain that the living armor training bracelet has like a bug where it doesn't really set like the right level. So if I set it to tough 5, right? Then if I exit it, it resets it to tough 10. So it's probably like a bug for the mod. So that is actually unfortunate. But we're trying to make the glowstone seeds here. We're trying to make this one, the prosperity seed base. I'm gonna make it here, take it to Lich. So while that's crafting, I did make the dungeon keys or the iron keys, so we should be able to explore the realm. But in between clips, I actually explored a little bit more of the area. So you can see right here, we did expand it over to this way. There is a kind of like a library section. We also have here. In this section, there's a little bit of a tomb area with like, you know, very negligible loot. There's also this, like, not intersection. This, like, it's kind of like a forge area. There was no raw demonite in this area, so that is kind of unfortunate. So we're gonna try to unlock this area, like right here. Let's get some blocks first. We should be good. Yeah, the Sky Seeker's blade is actually kind of bad. It only does levitation, but the botanist blade is actually slowness. So it's actually pretty good. It's much better than the Sky blade stuff. The botanist blade is much better. So even though it's lower damage, slowness is like much better. Oh, there you go. Ooh. So this is when I discovered that there is raw demonite right down there. I think I missed it for the first time, but there you go. There's raw demonite right there. So this is one of the mines that is said in the scientific guide. So we can light up the area. So we're gonna kill the zombies first. Not the dog barking. You guys heard the dog? Okay, so let's look at the loot. Demon, wow, 41, that's crazy. So that, I think this is the Tartaric gem. I think I'm trying to look for uses for the crystallized well. There's not a lot of uses for it. It's like an end game thing, so there's not a lot of things to use it for. Ooh, there is scrap sand. Very nice. I actually found one on the library one, if I remember correctly. So there's that. But yeah, so now we have a lot of raw demonite, which hopefully we can get. Right, the raw demonite. We're going to be able to build the tier 5, which is pretty awesome. Now, I did not plan this. I'm not gonna lie, because this is all randomly generated. So, luckily, we found the raw demonite. If not, I would have cut that whole portion. But luckily, this is just one continuous clip. I think we have enough. So we're going back now because we have enough raw ores or raw demonite to make enough Hellforged ingot for the upgrade, for the tier 5 altar. There's actually a way through blood magic. We can actually upgrade it. We can try to basically double, I think double the amount of Hellfire Forge that we can make. Now this is where I see it. Through the arc recipe, we can basically get at least, or at most 3, but at least 2 per raw demonite, which is pretty dang awesome. Just need an explosive cell, which is, as you can see, relatively easy to make. Oh my god, Jesus. Jesus Christ. The funny thing is, there's no one here. It's just me. There's no one for my dog to bark to. Which is crazy. Anyways, I'm just, if you guys heard that, you don't. Because I call it. So I made more pattern providers. I made the CP, the crafting units, and the circuit slicer. If you guys remember, the first clip, the very start of the video, I did point that out, which is crazy. So this machine basically makes our lives much better, much better, and it's also relatively easy to make. It is relatively easy to make, you know, because you can basically duplicate the the press molds stuff, and sorry, the press, yeah. We can easily duplicate the press using the block of iron. Wow, I've been talking for like 50 minutes now. That's crazy. Oh, I did not cut my audio recording. I'm just playing the video. I'm just watching it. This is me basically explaining that we can make a lot of the printed stuff. It does require the blocks, but it's much easier to do that instead of, you know, having individual stuff. And you also have you set up that, and then later down the line we're gonna be building, you know, the bigger crafting, the crafting tree, no, the crafting like unit. If you guys remember, did I do it in, I think I did it in FTV Evolution. I did that there, so that's pretty cool. So we're trying to crush the coal into crushed coal, right? So yeah, we need to crush coal, gunpowder, redstone, and tau fruit. Our tau fruit is in the system, which is pretty good. Redstone. So gunpowder is all actually in the, oh god, what is it called? The mob farm. Our non-spawner mob farm. Before I forget to mention, I did upgrade I did upgrade all of the machines into advanced and also installed upgrades on them. Before I forget. I did that in between clips. So that's pretty cool. Okay, we need the Master Blood Orb. There you go. So with that, we can double, sometimes triple, the raw demonite with the arc furnace. As you can see here, we have some things here. The resonator. We do need the resonator for something. I forgot. But yeah, so we have a couple of things here. We can make another. Oh yeah, this is when I try to make another one. We need the alchemy, or sorry, the imbued. I'm gonna set the upgrade to imbued. There we go. So you can see we are getting a lot of demonite fragments, which basically puts us over the amount of things that we need to upgrade tier 5, which is pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. What am I doing here? Oh yeah, we're looking at the Scientum to look at the blood altar. Oh yeah, this is when I try to visualize the amount of runes added. So we need 13 times 4, which is 52. So basically we need an additional 52 runes. And we already have a decent amount of rune. Right, so we got 52. 4. There we go. So we can cook that. Then we have oh yeah. if you guys are confused how I can access the terminal, I just added a lot more upgrades, wireless range boosters to the antenna. So now that we have the imbued, we can make another set of alchemical reaction chamber, or the arc. So we can put the arc. I forgot. Okay, we're gonna put the arc right there. We can put the resonator with the fragment, the demonite fragment with the, with the resonator. So that will turn into sand. Wait, no, sorry, gravel. And then we need to make the sand. Which is still a lot. So we need sulfur, tau oil, all of that stuff. And then sulfur, surprisingly, is actually relatively easy to make. We're not gonna do it we're not gonna do mechanism one, we're gonna do the blood magic one, which just needs cobblestone and lava. And we can just use the lava sigil. The fun thing is, it says here that soul network error. We just have to put the master blood orb into the slot. So I was a bit confused at this moment. Unfortunately, I was confused at this moment. This is where I figure out that, hey, I probably just need to put the blood orb. Because we have 600,000 LP. Which is crazy. But yeah, there you go. So now it works. And you don't lose the sigil. It just uses LP, which is pretty awesome. So with that, we just need gunpowder, sugar, glowstone, I think the water sigil. Got the water bucket. But then I think I figured out that, hey, we're not gonna do that. We need the... I'm just gonna use the water sigil in a little bit. And then I think we just need sugar. This is when I was testing my memory. Sugar, glowstone, then gunpowder in the system. Yeah, gunpowder and then tau oil. You can just grab the tau oil first so that we don't forget. And then the gunpowder. Now this will not run, right? That won't run when we come back to that. Here we go. There we got the fragment. When we come back here, we have a lot of gravel, which is pretty good. Let's see how long it's gonna take for us. Oh yeah, this is when I try to explain that we're gonna add capacity, sacrifice, and speed upgrade. So we're gonna have two rows or two sides full of capacity, one side full of sacrifice runes, and then a side of speed runes. And I think this is I did not realize that. I actually needed the sigil itself, which is crazy. Okay, it's pretty cool. You can just, remove that. Pretty nice. And now we have the cutting fluid, which is pretty cool. There is a cutting fluid in here. There's the basic one, but this one, the specific one, is actually faster. So we don't have to wait a long time before we can, process it. Basically. Simple as that. And then with the sand, we can make the Hellforge ingots. We can put some other stuff here because we're gonna move the arc, the alchemical reaction chamber, down next to the other one so that we can easily just transfer items from one place to another. So we're basically gonna wait for those guys to craft. Oh my god, my throat is kind of bad. So basically, we're just gonna wait for those things to run, and then I think there's going to be a jump cut to here. Where basically I'm gonna be crafting the runes that we're gonna use to upgrade the altar when we come back. I think that was it. Yeah, that was it. Okay, that was it. Ooh. So we got 13. There you go. So we got 49. I think it was 49 Hellforge dust. Sorry, 50. Is it just 50 flat? I think it's 50 flat. Sorry, my brain is not working. Yeah, this is 50 flat. Alright, so we can just... Basically, we can just 1, 2, 3, 4 Hellforge ingot block, or no, Hellforge block, right? I forgot the name. So basically, in this, I've been on, or in the world for a while, so that's kind of fun. And we have all of the runes crafted already. We're basically gonna craft the rest of the runes. So yeah, we have the sacrifice, the capacity, and then the speed. Okay, we can use our exchanging gadget, which is pretty awesome. We can just upgrade that. Just expand the range. There we go. So we got the sacrifice, and then we got the speed rune, which I could have grabbed right there, but I did not. And then there's also the capacity runes on the left and the right side. And now it's time to put the Hellforged block. We got 1, and a 2, and a 3, and the whoa, 4th one. What is that? What is that commentary? I don't know, man. Alright, so now we have a lot. We have a tier 5 altar, which is awesome. And there's also a tier 5. There's a tier, sorry, the tier 5. There's 100,000 capacity of LP, which is awesome. We got slate. We're gonna put the ethereal slate into the logistical sorter filter. We're gonna push it up, and then we're gonna disable the other filters so that only the ethereal slate will be made. So now, just put that there. With the additional speed runes, this is going to be much faster, which is pretty awesome. And also with the sacrifice runes, the dummies are making a lot more, a lot more LP. But it did cost me a lot of slates and stuff, so it took me a bit before I got here. So, still a lot, basically. So that is basically it. We got tier 5, we got everything. We're almost done with the episode, which is crazy. It's crazy. And I think right now the Hellforged ingot does not have a lot of things, but look at this, the attuned biome bottle. So I think at that time, this is when I figured, like, oh, this is how we can make, this is how we can make the globe or the biomes. This is how we can bring back the biomes into the world, which is awesome. Pretty awesome. But it does need a lot of Hellforged ingot, and we have, I think, 14 left. So hopefully we don't need to go back to that stupid, dimension and find more stuff. It's crazy. Crazy in and of itself. Kind of crazy. So there's different globes, biome globes, and it takes like, damage. It's not like one-time use, which is awesome, by the way. It doesn't, we don't need to make a lot of those. We don't have to waste a lot of, I don't know, like a lot of Hellforged ingot. It's pretty good. Then there's also other stuff from the Reclamation mod. I think these are the things like that the mod pack coded to be added into the mod pack. So I think I'm just trying to see what this is. So it's called Awakener. That is, I don't know why I looked at that. It's a little bit of a spoiler, not gonna lie. But next episode, okay, this is what the next episode will be. It's going to be the Gaia and the Wither. Yes, it's the 2-for-1, baby. We're gonna be fighting the Gaia and the Wither. Now, it does require a little bit more stuff, Elementium with the Mana Steel, pretty easy. But the Wither, it's gonna be a very difficult fight. I'm not gonna lie. Because the Wither is something else. Especially now that we don't have the Wither Glass. It's going to be like a kind of a vanilla fight. Kind of. So, it's gonna be interesting. And then, once we get to that, we're going to be able to open up the Reclamation chapter. And this is where it's going to be really fun now. We can bring back the overworld back to its glory days. Just glory days. We can also do a little bit of power situation, but we don't really need to. So that is going to be the next episode. We're going to fight the Wither. We got a lot of soul sand. Uranium, oh yeah. I think I was trying to make a point where we can't really do, you know, reactors because we don't have uranium. Oh, wait, yeah. I did find a blaze spawner in one of the, in one of the other stuff. And this is what I did in the nether. Look at that. It's the blaze farm. So we don't have to worry about, blazes. We don't have to worry about summoning more blazes because we can just kill them in this. In this, in this thing. Now, there's an issue with this. Is that the issue is the blaze can spawn outside of the enclosed area. I could, could make things a little bit faster. There you go. That's an example. Blazes can spawn outside of the perimeter, spawn room. So I don't know how to fix it because I did use like the lava flow. That there's going to be one block hole, so I could fix it in between episodes. We'll see. Stop it now. All right, we're gonna go back to the overworld because I don't want to deal with that for now. But I think that should be good to go. We can zoom in. All right. I think we can end the episode in a little bit. So yeah, that's the 3 episodes combined into one Frankenstein together, which is crazy. And yeah, we don't have to worry about blaze rods. Just come back here. We got it. That is it for today's episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed this commentator version of the episode, which is crazy. And next episode, like I said, we're going to be fighting the Wither and the Gaia. Press the like button below, subscribe, and see you guys on the next episode. Goodbye. I think I'm talking here still. Okay, goodbye.